In the last podcast, we explored tree biology and how trees grow, move resources, and respond to injury. Today, we're going to apply that knowledge to one of the most important arboricultural practices: tree pruning. Pruning is one of the most common and most misunderstood activities in arboriculture. When done correctly, it improves tree structure, reduces risk, and supports long-term health. When done incorrectly, it can weaken the tree, create defects, and accelerate decline. So the question becomes, what is the purpose of pruning? Pruning is not about making trees look neat. It is about managing structure and function. There are several primary objectives of pruning: structural improvement, risk reduction, clearance, and health maintenance. Let's start with structure. Young trees often develop competing leaders, narrow branch angles, or poorly spaced branches. These structural issues can lead to failure later in the tree's life. Structural pruning focuses on guiding the tree's architecture early. This often means selecting a dominant leader, removing or reducing competing stems, and encouraging well-spaced scaffold branches. The goal is to create a strong, stable structure that can support future growth. Next is risk reduction. As trees mature, defects such as dead branches, cracks, or weak attachments may develop. Pruning can reduce the likelihood of branch failure by removing deadwood, reducing weight on overextended limbs, and improving branch attachments. It's important to understand that pruning does not eliminate risk entirely, but it can significantly reduce it. Clearance pruning is another common objective. This type of pruning ensures that trees do not interfere with infrastructure. For example, branches may be pruned to maintain clearance from roads, sidewalks, buildings, or utility lines. Clearance pruning should be done carefully. Over-pruning for clearance can damage tree structure and reduce canopy function. Health-related pruning involves removing dead, diseased, or damaged branches. This helps prevent the spread of decay and improves overall tree condition. However, it's important to note that pruning alone does not cure most diseases. It is only one part of an overall management strategy. Now let's talk about how trees respond to pruning. As we discussed in the previous episode, trees do not heal. They compartmentalize. When a branch is removed, the tree forms barriers to limit the spread of decay. This makes proper pruning cuts extremely important. The most important concept here is the branch collar. The branch collar is the swollen area where a branch meets the trunk or another branch. It contains specialized tissue that helps the tree seal the wound. A proper pruning cut is made just outside the branch collar, not flush with the trunk, and not leaving a long stub. A flush cut removes the branch collar and reduces the tree's ability to compartmentalize. A stub cut leaves dead tissue that can become a point of decay. Both should be avoided. Now let's look at pruning intensity. One of the most common mistakes in arboriculture is over-pruning. Removing too much canopy reduces the tree's ability to produce energy. This can stress the tree and lead to excessive sprouting. A general guideline is to avoid removing more than 25% of the live canopy in a single pruning cycle. In many cases, less is better. Pruning should be gradual and intentional. Timing is also important. Pruning can be done at different times of the year depending on the objective. For many species, structural pruning is best done during the dormant season. However, dead or hazardous branches can be removed at any time. Understanding species-specific responses is also important. Some trees respond well to pruning. Others are more sensitive. Arborists must consider species, age, condition, and site when making pruning decisions. For the ISA Urban Forest Professional exam, focus on the objectives and principles of pruning. You should understand the difference between structural, risk, clearance, and health pruning, the importance of the branch collar, the concept of compartmentalization, the risks of over-pruning, and how pruning supports long-term tree structure. Many questions will test your ability to identify proper pruning practices and avoid common mistakes. Pruning is one of the most powerful tools in arboriculture, but it must be used carefully. Every cut affects how a tree grows, how it defends itself, and how it functions over time. In the next podcast, we'll take a closer look at structural pruning in young trees, and how early decisions can shape the future of the urban forest. You've been listening to the Arborist-podcast. Our goal is to grow our collective knowledge, one domain at a time. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to help us keep this momentum. Until next time, let's keep growing this community together.